So I have no idea what people know or what people are thinking right now. Um, but I'm very very clear that if people don't know that I liked Buffy and that's my favorite show and that's kind of like the main thing that I liked when I was a kid. I think if people don't know that, then you just don't know anything about me, and I'm really really confused about like how to think about it because I've been telling people that I'm Christ since I'm 2013. I've believed that there's been loads and loads and loads and loads of people who have known since 2013. I have no idea why they've ignored me and why they have not helped me in any way and why they've just helped every single person except me, hence making me hate them for doing that because nothing they've done has really helped me as a person. I mean, I kind of like the songs that they're doing, and it's very confusing because I'm looking at all the songs that I'm finding now, singers that I've never known about or never heard about, and it's very likely that these people knew about me and they did what they did based on them thinking whatever. I don't know what they were thinking. I feel like the people that hurt me in 2013, 14 and 15 and 16, these are people I'm going to find it harder to forgive. Why? Because I'm going to have all these memories of me being trapped in a tiny studio flat, not being able to do anything, whilst people were just using me, believing or making me feel like things were going to happen soon, and it never was. And so I feel like the people who were famous in those years, or not just famous, but famous through music in those years, were very, very cruel. I'm very, very conflicted when it comes to Rylan because I really, really hate Big Brother and I really, really hated everything that they were doing. But at the same time, I understood that back then I didn't realise that I had the power that I have. And I realised at the time that he was taking advantage of the opportunities that he was being given, and that's how I saw it at the time. So I didn't think anything of it. And I do still like him, but yeah, I'm very conflicted because I really, really hate that show because those people did that show knowing that they were hurting me. Every single year they put that show on and they did not give a shit. Either they knew about me and they did not give a shit about the fact that I was obsessing about that show every single day for like all year, only to be failed by them, only to be rejected by them, only to be not chosen by them, and just feeling like absolute shit. So I absolutely hate the casting team. I absolutely hate the production team. Do I hate Ryan? No, that's slightly different because I feel like he was just making the most of an opportunity, and I don't think he realised that my life was just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse, which it has. That's my whole life. My whole life has just got worse and worse and worse and worse, and it is strange because I can't tell you which time of my life was worse, because whenever I try and think about a time in my life and think about how it was, I feel like I'm just reminded of bad memories and then more bad memories. And then this time, like so when I was very young, bad memories because why? I was a 6-year-old and I had to look after my kid, or my mum's kid, and that was my kid, and so I had to be a mum at a very young age, and then just growing up, realizing more and more that my mum was incapable, and having to take over her life or my life, and try and then just growing up, and then there's good moments because I believe that I was having a life, so I guess there's good times, but yeah. This all ended when I became, in 2013, when I realised I was God, and I realised that we were living in some sort of program and the world was just a bunch of morons that weren't able to believe the truth, and were just believing all sorts of shit because they're mad, and they don't realise that they're mad. But because they don't realise they're mad, they're actually far more sane than they would be if they knew that they were believing in shit and that they were all just mad. And then life really started hurting because it was like, oh shit, I was a Lear in my past life, and then it was like, oh, I had everything that I possibly wanted and that was stolen away from me. So my whole life just got worse and worse and worse, and more and more and more worse, and now I'm in a sort of state where I've had absolutely no life. I'm jealous of over everyone. I don't understand how there could be people in the world that are making millions of pounds whilst other people are living off £2,000. But money means absolutely nothing to me, and I don't think it even means anything to the people that own money, right? Because the people that have huge amounts of money only just seem to want to make more money, because making money is the only thing that they know how to do. And I don't even give a shit, because I don't think even money is important. It's important to have friends and have good connections with people, and to enjoy life. And I don't think you can enjoy life with everyone else, with everyone in the world being mad. And that's how I see the world. I see the world as just a big bunch of mad people. So I'm just like, even if I had £1 billion or a £1 million, I can't tell the difference between a million and a billion. If I had £1 million or £1 billion in my account, it would make absolutely no difference to me, because at the end of the day, I'll just be looking at the people on earth and just be thinking that these people are fucking shit. And okay, I have been drinking right now, so, but yeah. I don't know, but I know that I loved the Buffy series, and if you've been following me for the last 10 years and you have not known that I like Buffy, and that everything about the Buffy show is like my favourite show, and obviously most connected with me, then you're obviously not connected with me in any kind of way, because surely I've said that loads and loads of times, and it's confusing because I'm saying so many things over and over and over again, and I feel like I don't know what people are thinking because no one's talking to me. Are people listening to me? And why does this screen look so dark? It doesn't look very bright. Colour a bit bright or something. I don't know. But I don't know what to say. I just know that this is the top that started everything. Actually, you can't see it, but it's kind of like a zebra striped. And I remember the time where I found it, and I was like, wow, I love that top. And okay, it took a while for me, when I was 14, I looked at my wardrobe and I was thinking, why the hell is it full of strap tops? No, not strap tops, t-shirts, that's the word. Why the hell is it full of t-shirts? It was every single thing that I had was t-shirts, and I absolutely hated t-shirts. Why does the screen look blue? I don't know why the screen looks blue, but yeah, and then I changed my whole look, but of course I still had t-shirts filling my drawer, but it was a little bit hard to save when you don't have any money, and when your father doesn't let you have money because you say things like, I want another t-shirt or I want another pair of jeans, and he says, but you've already got one, and I'm like, actually I've got 37 pairs of jeans, but I still want more. When you have this sort of, you have to sort of work your way around to try and build up your wardrobe. But I remember when I was 16, I started having like a kind of obsession towards clothes. I think if someone doesn't let you have something, you actually want it even more. And at boarding school, they never let me have TV or films. Like, I did start my Buffy collection when I was at boarding school, but they wouldn't let you watch TV. You'd have to sneak out the room, and they would always monitor. They would always check the TV rooms to make sure no one was in there, and I was often in there. And I remember there was 2 girls who I really got on with in the first year. This is when I was 13 to 14. But I used to always tell them how much I hated boarding school, and I know within the next year, the second year, both of them had left by that time. I think both of them ended up getting kicked out. I wasn't really that close to them because in the first year I was very, very shy, but I felt like in the second year I felt far more similar to them. But yeah, they both left, and therefore I kind of felt a bit isolated, but I became really close friends with the year below. And there was one girl who reminded me of Willow from Buffy. I don't think I have many pictures of her. I really don't have many pictures of her, but her attitude, her personality, and I felt like almost the show kind of made me feel like I was supposed to be close to her or something because of that. And we were quite close in the second year. We were very close. I think it's because we shared a room. I either shared a room with her or it was Kerry. It was either with I can't even remember, but those two were very, very close, and I don't know, but watching the Buffy episodes is kind of reminding me of how I felt when I was at boarding school, and I feel like I can remember all the different rooms. So I was in a boarding school, and we had like 3 different, every year we had 3 different rooms that we stayed in. So every term we had a different room, I can't actually remember the details about the third room. I know every room, I had a different room in the first year, and I would have a different room every in the second year, so that's 6 rooms. But in the third year, I really can't remember what happened, but I know that a lot of people had left. I think they had left actually because of me, because I was saying how much I hated boarding school and how much I didn't like being there and how I felt like I was a prisoner. And I know I said that to quite a lot of people, and I know a lot of people left because of what I said, but the school didn't realise that. But I'm pretty sure it was what I said had actually made them leave. I mean, on one hand, I meant it because I was serious. I did not enjoy being in that school because I felt like I was a prisoner. But at the same time, I think a lot of people left, and there was loads of empty beds, basically, let's say that. And in the last year, there was like 4 beds in the room that I was in, and no one staying there, so I was just looking at 3 empty beds. So it was a very horrible time, that third year. That third year was awful for me. You know, they felt like they were doing people a favour by keeping them away from me, when really I actually just felt even more like a prisoner, because I felt like I was trapped in a room by myself. And I don't remember what happened, but I know because I had a room to myself, I didn't need to go and watch films. And so I listened to MP3s. I bought this MP3 player. I've still got it somewhere. I don't know where it is. I tried looking for it, but I couldn't find it. But I bought this MP3 player, and I would just listen to songs pretty much all night. And I remember there was a point in my life where I was trying to see if it was possible to live off 4 hours sleep and then just listen to music the rest of the time. And I did achieve that. I know I achieved that because people were saying it's not possible to live off 4 hours. And I don't think it's possible. There's people who say that they can live off 4 hours sleep, and I actually tried living off 4 hours sleep during that year. And I know that I was very delusional because of the only sleeping for 4 hours. But I know that I was up pretty much all night, every night, listening to songs. And I didn't need to leave the room that night because, that year, because I had the MP3 player and there was no one else in my room, so I could just listen to it on my headphones. Usually if you listen to headphones, music on the headphones, people in the room hear and they stay awake at night and stuff. And I know in that third year, I couldn't keep anyone awake because there was no one in my room. But I can't remember if I was in that specific room for the whole year, or if I was in different rooms every term. I really can't remember. I don't know. That whole year just seems like a blur to me. I know I was very, very depressed though. And I know the whole time all I wanted to do was watch Buffy, and I couldn't because I was stuck in the school. And in the weekends I'd go home and I would watch Buffy, but there was only a limited amount of TV time that it was on. You know, you would kind of like you would want to watch all the episodes, but there's only so many plays that it has on TV, and then you'd try and find the DVD, the videos. Actually, it was videos back then. DVDs had not been invented. And then you'd buy the videos, and then you'd try and watch them in school, and then of course you'd get told off because you had like a prep time. So school finished at 5, and then you had like half an hour of break, and then you had 5:30 till 7 where you had like prep, and then you had between 7 and like 9. I think it was 7 till 8 in the first year, and then 7 till 9 in the second and third year. But it was a nightmare because all I wanted to do was watch TV, and they wouldn't let you do that. And because of this like restriction that they had on you, like preventing you from watching TV, I left that school with a severe obsession with television and wanting to watch as much TV as possible, because I kind of just wanted to hit them almost over this restriction that they had. You know, I know that Australia has got this sort of restriction ban where they try and restrict kids, and I don't know, but thinking about it makes me want to beat them up over this. You know, there's so many kids who really want to be on the internet or be on the computer, and by telling them, no, you're a kid, you can't do that, I feel like there's so many people that are going to end up with these severe conditions of wanting to do something that they weren't allowed to do. So you really have to be careful when it comes to restricting kids. If they want to do something and you are preventing them from doing it, the second they get the opportunity to be on there 24/7, you know, if you spent years of your life trying to prevent them from doing that, you're actually going to develop quite a severe obsession with it. And that's what happened to me. I came out of that school, I was really, really miserable throughout the whole of that school because I couldn't watch TV. And the second I came out of that school, all I wanted to do was just watch TV all day and every day. Like, I had a really bad obsession over it. I hated the second school that I went into. But yeah, I want to know why why the screen looks brown. Does the screen look blue? The screen looks blue. But yeah. And then what else happened? I don't know. But yeah, when I got to 16, I do remember buying this top and just being like, right, I'm going to start like just buying loads and loads of clothes. And I kept telling my dad, oh, I want to buy food, I want to buy food. If I said I want to buy clothes, he would never let me. But if I said I want to buy food, he would give me the money, and then with the £10 that he'd buy me, I wouldn't buy food, I would buy like a huge amount of clothing for that tiny amount of money that he gave me. I was very good at shopping. And I think my obsession for clothing just kind of grew from then. But I think it all stemmed from Glory and my love for that character and just how she was and stuff. So, but yeah, if you're someone who's been following me for years and years and years and you have no clue that I like Buffy and have had no desire to watch the Buffy episodes, then I just think there must be something wrong with you. And then when I think about that, I think, why the hell has Xander gone mad? Like, surely he would have known or found out by now that the Buffy episodes were basically the show that influenced my whole life. And therefore, I don't know why he's acting like he's acting. And I feel like I've blanked out quite a lot of memories because I'm focused on I've been focused on other things for the last 10 years. I don't know what I've been focused on. Can't actually tell you right now. But yeah, I'm sounding pretty mentally ill probably. I can sound even more mentally ill, believe me. If I just speak honestly, I just need to I will sound mentally ill. But okay, maybe I should just stop this.